e-waste. Absolute e-waste. I know I haven't uploaded in like fucking years or something, but this is an old 2007 polycarbonate MacBook. 13-inch, whatever the hell. It has no operating system on it because it's been factory reset or wiped. The hard drive's been wiped. The amount of fucking Mac installers that I've tried, all have not worked. They've either shown that like stupid little red cross, not red cross, like the gray cross thing, told me I don't have enough RAM, which, okay, that's fine. I'll just use Linux. Can't use Linux. I don't know why. It just won't see any of the Linux drives I've tried. There's no chance for it. It's 32-bit EFI. Cool. I set that as the parameters to make the stupid USB stick from. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So then I thought, you know what? Since that's not working, I'll just use the disk. The disk drive's broken. Keeps spitting out my disk. So I was like, okay, I'll get a fucking external disk drive with the official boot CDs, by the way. Here, let me see. Where are they? They're right here, right? Not that one. Not that one. This, not this one. Not this one either. Whatever. You get the gist. I have one of the official install CDs for this specific unit. I put it in. Okay, it doesn't work. So I put it into this one, and it reads on that computer, which is my main computer. This will not read the disk from its own drive or from this. So I'm basically out of options, right? And I think, hey, let's disassemble this thing, as you can see from the fucking massive amount of screws on my bed, and just take out the hard drive. So I have the hard drive right here. This is like a little dongle I use to connect to it. But this is the hard drive. 80 gigabytes, sure, I don't care. But I try to flash, or I get the idea to like flash macOS, like an image of macOS from like one of these computers onto here. But then I find out that it's on like some stupid like specific forum that doesn't let you download anything over a gigabyte unless you're a member. And then even after I signed up, it's like, oh, you can't download anything over like this amount of gigabytes unless you donate. I'm not fucking spending money on this shit. For something that should be free. I should be able to do this for free. Every version of macOS that you download on a Mac is fucking free. The product is the computer. Only Windows charges licenses for their operating systems, and even they let you install those for free. And I want someone, somewhere, just to tell me why. Why? Why won't this work? I've done everything in my power to make this one simple task just fucking work. I even like try to disassemble it and like fucking like try to fix the disk drive or whatever, but I gave up halfway through because like that screw is stripped to hell. And like there's just no hope for this one, man. There's no hope. So I officially declared this e-waste. Now, I want someone to find me literally any normal laptop, right? Any normal fucking laptop from this time period of 2007. I challenge someone. Find me a laptop from 2007 that you can't do anything with that isn't a MacBook. Because I guarantee you, without fail, unless the hardware is actually just broken inside of the computer, without fail, it will work on Windows or Linux. And you know what? I'm going to give it one more chance, okay? I'll give it one more chance to work just right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fuck-ass hard drive, right? I'm going to put it into that machine, install Linux, like 32-bit Linux, with EFI.
Turns out it didn't need to be set to EFI. Also, I don't even think you can change that setting in Rufus, so I don't even know what I was on about.
Even though this doesn't support EFI, but like I can still write the image to the disk, I'm like pretty sure. And if not, then I'll just use like MBR, like legacy boot or whatever. But either way, it should just work, right? Because like that's Apple's philosophy. Everything just works, right? And just saying to anyone out there who believes that I genuinely just don't have the right things to do this, why? Why should it be this complicated on macOS anyways, with any MacBook? Why should a MacBook be more complicated than like some HP Pavilion laptop from like who knows how long ago? Because like I guarantee you, any laptop from around this time period that isn't a Mac, you could just like go into the BIOS, like boot from a USB drive that has like the image for like Windows 32-bit something or Linux 32-bit something, and it will just install unless there's like a severe like an absolute like 1 in a million chance that there's no possible driver that will work for that computer. And even still, I would be surprised out of my mind if like there's really any computer in the modern age that has no support for Linux or Windows, period. Even newer MacBooks figured it out at this point. Okay, I'm gonna download Debian 32-bit, download this version, and I'll even download the one that says Mac on it, because like it says Mac on it. It's gonna work for Macs, right? So real quick, I'm gonna try something that I haven't tried, which is running the Debian Mac ISO, just or running it like directly to this USB drive, and then like trying to boot from this USB to that, because like I've tried like the normal Debian, but maybe, just maybe,
Oh, like, maybe we'll meet at a bar, we'll drive a funky,
I needed like specifically the Mac version. I don't know, but like that's what I'm getting from this, and if that's not true, then I'm gonna try what I was gonna try before. Alright, so I've got this USB drive. It just finished flashing the Mac installer for Debian, or at least that's what I'm assuming that means, because it said Mac on it. That's probably the Mac version. Let's plug this into the fucking shit and see if it works. Holding Alt to boot into the menu that shows the options, and it's not fucking there. Am I really surprised? Like, is this genuine? This genuinely shouldn't surprise me. Shouldn't surprise me. It shouldn't surprise me. All right, hard drive's coming back out. Cool. And that goes back in there, and I'm gonna install. I don't even know anymore, bro. All right, USB installer and hard drive are in. It's a net install version, so I'm probably gonna have to use that thing, which is like a Wi-Fi dongle, and if not, then I have an Ethernet cable that's like on standby. Let's just see if any of this works. Alright, I see my Fujitsu and my USB Disk 3.0, which is what the installer is. I don't even care about like the functionality of the laptop anymore. If this just works, if it boots up and does something, I'll be impressed. Like, genuinely. It doesn't have to do anything on the internet. It doesn't have to touch the internet. It doesn't have to, like, what is this? Yeah, that one. If it even, like, just doesn't have to touch, like, it doesn't have to touch the internet. It doesn't have to write a document. It doesn't have to play a game. It just has to boot up, show me something that isn't just the fucking, like, it's searching for an operating system. I'll be impressed. Now, the reason I'm so hellbent on getting it to run Debian, of all things, is because I have two other Macs that are, like, slightly newer. One's from, shit, I think, like, I don't even know, but, like, one's an iMac, and then the other is a MacBook Air from 2017. They both effortlessly ran, like, Debian, or, like, forks of Debian. So, these should have no problem, right? This computer should have no problem. Dude, I started working on this computer, like, when it was, like, I think 9 p.m. It's been longer than just, like, fucking today. I've been working on this computer for, like, honestly, like, this past week. Yeah, just about, like, 7 days. And all 7 days have just been me trying out different versions of macOS, trying different methods of installing macOS, and then by day 5, I just completely gave up on macOS and tried, like, running Debian or running Windows or fucking just anything, man. Just anything that isn't, like, macOS. And none of that worked either. In fact, it worked even less. Because, like, at least with the Mac drives, it showed up when I held, like, Option and Power in, like, the little boot menu that it has. And, I was able to boot into some of them. Some of them told me I didn't have enough RAM. Some of them told me I didn't, like, I don't even know. I just couldn't install it because it didn't find the volume, which is what that little gray circle and cross means. But, yeah, the reason I don't upgrade the RAM is because not only is RAM expensive, but also I just don't know what kind of fucking RAM this is and what, like, how much to get. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like 2 gigabytes, but either way, I shouldn't have to buy more RAM, because when I got this computer, it was running macOS, I want to say, like, probably like 10.5.2, which is like what I tried to install in it again. Even though it was running 10.5.2, it was, like, password locked by, like, some jackass who was, like, I don't even remember his name, but, like, it was password locked. So I thought, you know what? No problem. I'm going to reinstall macOS. Can't reinstall macOS for whatever reason. I don't even know how they got it on there in the first place, but that version of macOS required, like, some stupid-ass amount of RAM. I think it was, like, 2 gigabytes. And, like, the one I tried to reinstall, I installed one without the need for 2 gigabytes, right? It just didn't work. For what reason, I don't know. It couldn't find the volume, I guess. I sound like a broken record right now, but, like, I've just been seeing this over and over and over again on this stupid computer. There's absolutely no reason it should be this difficult. I've severely underestimated how long this is going to take. I realize now, technically, I'm giving this thing 2 tries. I'm installing the one that said Mac on it first. And this is taking, like, 2 years, because, like, slow internet. What are you going to do about it? But, like, if this doesn't work, I'm willing to give it one more try, right? I don't give up that easily. It takes a lot. But this Mac is a lot, so you gotta really put yourself in my shoes, right? Just the amount of times I've gone through this process of installing an operating system on computers is honestly more than ye old average person, but sometimes you just gotta know when to call it quits, and this isn't one of those times. I don't know when to call it quits. Also, I don't think I mentioned this. One of the reasons I'm going with just raw Debian is because, like, I'm 99.9% sure that this computer will not be able to run anything with a graphical user interface that isn't macOS. So it turns out all you need to do, right? You just gotta install from a different computer. Which, why? You shouldn't have to do that. You really shouldn't. But at least it's doing something now. It's doing something. It can't connect to the internet, even though I have it connected via Ethernet, and, like, the Wi-Fi driver obviously won't work, because, like, it was installed on another computer. But this is literally the only way I can get it to run anything else. I had to install one specific version from one specific computer and install it with just, like, the MacBook hard drive, and then take the MacBook hard drive out of the other computer and then put it back into this computer, and it still doesn't even work properly, but it's doing something now. This is progress. This is not perfect. This is progress. And all for what? Any other computer that I've had this far has not required anything remotely close to what I've had to go through for this computer, like, alone. More uploads coming soon, maybe? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm mad. And, like, this technically shouldn't even work, but, like, Linux magic, man.